my people.
No, I just don't care about it. It's almost like a loser's mentality. It's like everyone's so spoiled. Like it's like, you know, he won't let me shine. I even heard someone say like, yo, why Jay won't let Kanye? I'm like, let Kanye. Kanye's Kanye. He's gonna do what he does. That's a loser's mentality. My albums came out with Outkast, Lauren, Q-Tip, all of them in 1 week. You know, everybody did good. You know, look at the chart now. It's Wale, number one. This is like a shameless plug. Rock Nation managed artist, J. Cole, which will probably go to number one next week again. No, for the first time ever, but he'll go to number one. Rock Nation, and it's Kanye. Everyone's flourishing. You know, you gotta be out. You gotta be able to compete. Steel sharpens steel. You gotta get out there and you gotta earn your spot. It's not given. It's such a spoiled brat losers mentality that's it's annoying.
That's so damn true, and I lose friends because people feel like I won't let them get any type of shine on their music or their podcast that they have or their products or any of that type of stuff. And I don't have any type of power whatsoever but to try to build up something for myself. You know, I'm busy trying to shine myself. And there are people out there who will put it on you or whoever's close to them that feel like they're a gatekeeper and they hold a little bit of power. I think that is definitely a loser's mentality, but it's a real thing, man. Sometimes you don't know what to expect. You know what I mean? You don't know what to feel. You feel like this person that's winning could provide you an opportunity if they just reach their hand out, or if they just make a call, or if they just do something. It's something you can do that can make me win a little bit more than what I'm doing right now. But it's like, come on, do it yourself. Like, if I could do it myself, you can do it yourself. But sometimes people need a hand too.
Spoiled brat losers mentality. It's annoying.
There's a knowing in being an artist. There's a knowing. You can't guess. You can't think. There's a knowing. You have to know that even if it doesn't work today, tomorrow, there's artists that I play that weren't popular at the time that I play more than I play current artists. Shuggy Otis, I suggest you just go look up Shuggy Otis. He was amazing. And at the time, it wasn't this hugely popular thing, but I think when it all said and done, we would play that music more than any other music. Right, so you have to have this knowing that, okay, it may not work today, it may not work tomorrow, but this is the right thing, and this is what I'm doing, and this is what's feeding me. So that would be the best advice that I can give you. That knowing, just believe in what you're doing. And if you don't believe in it, then you're not doing it. You haven't figured out the thing that you do best yet. When you feel it and when you know, no one can tell you. You only have to be right once.
Wow. When you feel it, you know. You only have to be right once. That one thing that would change your life and change your family's life. You only have to be right once. Oh, my gracious. You know, a lot of my family and friends think I've already found that thing. And the fact that I'm always looking for that thing kind of pisses people off, because they're like, dude, you've already, like, what you're doing is crazy. And I'm like, what you're doing is crazy. Leave me the hell alone.
No one can tell you. You only have to be right once.
I got up around 8, had some breakfast, ran a mile. It was really tough. I just came from Aspen. Yeah, you know, I just wanted to touch it a little bit. I mean, everyone can't be like you, man.
It's gone away.
So, you know, ran a mile. Then I went to the office, read a bunch of emails, read some more emails, downloaded some music legally. Had a meeting with some great people. I don't want to really say their name yet. After that, listened to some music, went to the studio, had dinner. Went to the Nets game, we won. We're up 3-2. Thank you very much. Went to sleep.
Good day, full day.
Great day. Yeah, we was going to Club Exit, and we get into we get in the front.
So you mean to tell me that millionaires are still waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning? Millionaires are still waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning. People who are close to $1 billion are still waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, every morning. Then they're going jogging and then eating fruit, meditating and all that other stuff, and then going to the office. Somebody's told me that Eminem has a crazy work habit. I guess that's how they stay on the top.
Yeah, we was going to Club Exit, and we get into we get in the front of the club. We pull up, and Big sees some guys out there, and he says, "Man, I'm not going in there." And I'm like, "What?" He was like, "Nah, these guys over there. I'm not even, I don't feel like it tonight." So me and Tata, we just came in the music business. We don't really understand what he's saying. We think he's scared. So we like, "What? Let us out this car right now." So me and Tata leave the car, and we talking about Big behind his back. And we was like, "Man, could you believe that, man? He's scared of these guys." But we wanted to prove to the guys in front of the club that we wasn't scared. So we go in the club, Big pulls off, and for a while, I thought that he was really scared of these guys, until later on I realized that he had a bigger goal, and he knew where he was going, and he didn't want to deal with it. He wasn't scared. It was just like, why put himself in that position if he didn't have to? And I thought that was genius, and I guess that helps me a lot as well. And I thought that question was great. Thank you. It's always good to...
Wow, man. Wow. I don't know about y'all, but I love listening to rap artists. Once they've matured, once they've, experienced years and years and years of success based off of strategic moves they made, I love hearing them speak, because it shows their elevation. It shows their level of concentration. I love that, man. It makes me feel less like a goober or less like a nerd for sounding a little different than I did 10 years ago, if that makes sense.
I guess that helps me a lot as well, and I thought that question was great. Thank you. It's always good to compare yourself to people you look up to, right? Because you give yourself a high goal. You set high standards for yourself. And, pretty much the way he lived his life and the parallels and how he affected culture is what I strive to do. He had a record label and he owned Reprise Records, and he released Jimi Hendrix. Kanye West is my Jimi Hendrix. My record label was Rockefeller. Just compare yourself to the greats. Set the bar really high. Because all he can do is the best he can do. He's not a superhero. And it's unfair to place unfulfillable expectations on this man just because of his color. You're actually doing the opposite. It's like, what do you think is going to happen? He's there for 8 years, and he has to undo what 43 presidents have done in 8 years.
President Obama.
It's not fair.
What do you think of the state of, I'm not going to say just black leadership period, on the things you care about in the country? Who do you look at and say, this man or woman speaks for the things I care about?
It's going to be funny, but I find it funny. But my leadership, I like Dave Chappelle's leadership. Because he tells it in humor so you can deal with it, but it's always a nice chunk of truth in there.
I can only assume, because I don't know the answer to that, except that, sometimes people's success, make people feel, instead of saying, wow, that person's successful and I'm inspired. Well, some people are. Some people are like, that person's successful, I'm gonna strive and I'm gonna be exactly where they are. And some people are just like, they got the reverse attitude, like their success means my failure. So I hate that success. So I have to make some kind of explanation of why they're here and why they shouldn't be here, and then why they wouldn't be here if this person was here. Who thinks like that? If you take that long to think, if you take that long to think about someone why they shouldn't be here, then you're good, and you should be doing something with that intelligence.
Lock my body, can't trap my mind. Easily explain why we adapt to crime. I'd rather die enormous than live dormant. That's how we own it.
But that line, rather die enormous than live dormant. That's how we on it. Living the American dream with a vengeance. I'm gonna get it. I don't give a I'm gonna get it. And you gotta understand the reason, right? Why?
He said, I would rather die enormous than live dormant. I'm still on it. Wow. He's saying go after yours. Don't be comfortable and lazy in life. Just go after yours. If you miss, you miss. If you miss, you miss. If you fail, you fail. Just don't stop giving up. I know we all have dreams. When we were kids, we had dreams. When we were kids, we looked a little further than what was inside the house. That's where our imagination was. It allowed us to pick up a toy and start making up little stories and situations and put ourselves in somewhat of a fantasy land with those toys and just dream. And I know we were just kids and our dreams was probably silly, but our dreams was our dreams nonetheless.
I don't give a I'm gonna get it. And you gotta understand the reason, right? Why does that guy think like that? Right? How do you arrive at that point? You got to also look at that. You have to look at that. You got to look at the environments and places we live in and how things are set up and how things are structured and how we're always the last on the totem pole, even from our schooling to our roads to, everything that all the obstacles that's placed in front of us, even our living conditions. You live in a project. Someone lives here, 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 and here. You have to deal with all these different type of personalities. You're in the box. Someone's above you, below you, to the right of you, and to the left of you. And every day you have to manage that circle. And that's just 2 floors. These buildings have 26 floors, right? These low-income houses, and everything is messed up there. So that's like living dormant. If this is what I have to live for, then I'm going to take a chance to get more. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens to me.
I think that rap in particular is a young man's sport, that I'll move out of that white hot space. But rap is about the gift of discovery. To be the cool person in school, you have to know the newest music, the newest dance move, have the newest clothing on. So rap is based on that. What's new? I know you know Jay-Z is good, but do you know this song right here that only 4 people heard it?
Right.
At the end of the day, we're going to find out it's not about the white hot space, but it's about finding the truth. That white hot space, people think is the biggest thing, but it's really small. It's almost like a trend. Will you rather be a trend or you rather be Ralph Lauren?
Right.
But I'm the person that looked at the Mona Lisa and be like, man, that's going to be cool in 40 years.
Right.
Right? I play forever.
Right.
I play forever. And so my whole thing is to identify with the truth, not to be the youngest, hottest, new, trendy thing.
I like that. He said, I play forever. He's not concerned about the here and now, that the thing that just pops up and is hot. He plays for decades down the line, centuries down the line. I like that.
The youngest, hottest, new, trendy thing.
I think in business, one of the biggest things is to open yourself up for change. You don't have to change who you are and how you operate, but just, if the landscape has changed, then the way we do business has to change somewhat. We don't have to change who we are. We have to change the way we go about it. Because like I said, the consumption of music is higher than ever. The reason I focused on that, because such a small thing changed my life, right? A 6th grade teacher said, you know what, you're kind of smart. And I believed her. I said, I'm smart, right? So she gave me that sort of opportunity. She sparked the idea in my mind. So that's why my first thing is the scholarship fund, because there are a ton of very intelligent kids that's coming out of these urban areas who can make it all the way if given the opportunity. And so it's a challenge that I gave to my mom, and my mom is so involved with it. Like she gets on the bus and she takes these kids to their to interview with colleges, and now we're starting to see kids graduate from college, and that sort of feeling, when it's real. I'm not just sitting home writing a check and you know, for whatever reason, make myself feel good or anything like this. It's something that I really want to do and I'm really, you know, into and excited about. So I'm seeing the results. I'm seeing, you know, we were getting our first graduates from the Sean Carter Scholarship Program, which is like, for me, the best thing ever.
That's so dope, man. Shout out to Jay-Z. See, Jay-Z came a long way. Jay-Z started from he came from a long way. He came from a long way. And when he was out there on the block doing his thing, not gonna mention what he was doing, one of my cousins was actually out there partying with him. One of my cousins from DC, RIP, he's no longer here now. Little man. And I'm about to turn what is my favorite number because of my cousin who I'm talking about right now. This year I will be turning 44. And that so happens to be my favorite number, 44. But Jay-Z has come a long way. And all of the people who he has given scholarships to, and people look at it like, oh, they're rich. It's just a tax write-off. They have to do these things. No, when you listen to these people talk and you know how they was before, you realize that it's not about that money no more. Like he just now said, he's grateful that his mother is getting on the bus with these kids, taking them to universities for interviews and making sure that they do what they need to do in order to get them scholarships. All the money that Jay-Z has, he can pay for anybody to do that. You know, he can pay somebody, he can have somebody on payroll just to do that. And I'm sure he does have people on payroll just to do that. But this right here, making sure that people get opportunities, that young kids, young adults get opportunities like that, I think that's absolutely amazing. I think it's phenomenal. So, you know what I mean? I think that's dope. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about that in the comments, all right? I think I'm going to try out more of these things. I got some from Warren Buffett right here. Life advice will leave you speechless. And these are some things that I listen to. I listen to motivational stuff sometimes while I'm smoking weed or working out. No bullshit. You know, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I like to smoke a J before I go work out, and I listen to things that are gonna make me better. I used to listen to music, but I listen to less music now because the music isn't encouraging me and it isn't inspiring me to go to higher planes unless I'm in my creative mode where I'm trying to think of some lyrics for a song or something like that, or I'm trying to be inspired by a new, fresh, artist that's out, and I'm just listening, or I'm just checking out the new music every Friday. I usually like to have Fridays as the day, you know what I mean? So yeah.